location in Edinburgh. Welcome along. Welcome to the team. Pick a number between 1 and 100. Both digits have to be different. Okay. Are you thinking of it? Have you got it in your head? They both have to be different numbers. Between 1 and any double digit number between 1 and 100. Is this your number? Is it? Well, let me know in the comments if I've read your mind. Welcome along. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're going to make sure that we're up and running, doing everything right as far as YouTube's concerned. Ruby, we'll just go this side of this branch. Thank you, sweetie, good girl. For about a minute, and then I'll just make sure that we're all okay, and then we'll get started. And we're not all okay. We are snagged. We got really snagged. That wasn't coming free of that. This way, guys. This way. You've got a chance to see the team while I get set up. And we're going to come out into some beautiful open space down below. Coming out of the woods into the sunshine on what's a cold and brisk but beautiful Friday morning for us. Go. Dogs in open space equals running around. That's what they want to do. So we might get some chases. Here we go, Juno and Mac. She wanted it to happen. She did want it. Anyway, we never got there. Right, let's do a quick intro. Let's do a quick hello. Good morning. You're watching Crighton Pet Services live dog walk. I'm Stephen Crighton. I'm in charge of these 8 dogs, and they're not mine. I wish they were, but it's the next best thing, getting to look after them. And like I said about 10 seconds ago, the open space equals running around. So we've got Mac, the black dog, the Tibetan Terrier, is leading astray the 3 Border Terriers. And Edith, our Welsh Springer. Hey, sweetheart. And I'm sure this is not the end of this. We will come back to this as we go. But as always with these things, I know the dogs very well. I know the areas that we walk in very well, and we wouldn't let them get away with these things if there was anyone around. There is someone around. There's one person just here. I don't think we're going to worry too much about their presence while these guys are having a good old run. They're not disturbing anyone apart from your ears and mine with their little barking. There's a couple of the dogs that can only play on full bark, on full blast. Full bark. And Biscuit and Juno are 2 of those dogs. Biscuit, just the Border Terrier at the front here. Juno coming up to me. You heard your name, sweetheart, didn't you? Yes, I know. We have now what's known as a cut-off queue. That cut-off queue is just letting Mac, I think Mac probably instigated it, just letting everyone know, hey, enough's enough. We'll come back to this. And so the other dogs respect that, and they've followed suit. Juno keeps looking back to him. She wants more. She wants more. She's even asking him there. That little bark and that little pounce is part of the play bow ritual, which indicates that they want to have some play. But what I can hear is not Juno's bark. It's another dog reciprocating the bark somewhere nearby. I'm just scanning the periphery. I can't see. Good, you guys? I'm sure we're all right. No, there's dogs coming towards us. There are dogs coming towards us. So, on that note, we're not gonna... These guys are a little bit aroused, shall we say. It means something slightly different in dog language than it does in human language, but they're excited. So we're just going to try and take the sting out of that excitement by giving them some more enrichment to have a sniff at. This longer grass is going to be covered in animal smells. Noses are down, and you might find 1 or 2 of them following little paths. And also that gets us off the path. I know it doesn't seem like there's a path, but there's a path there that person and her dogs can safely pass us without us having to entertain a third party dog. and third-party people. We had to deal with that yesterday, and if you haven't followed the channel, if you're new to the channel as of now, you missed out on a doozy. A couple of thousand people watched the live as we ranted and raved about someone who was quite abusive and obnoxious towards us. So it can happen, even with the best behaved dogs in Edinburgh. Oh, Charlie! Charlie, you come here now. Charlie, our Westie, has just rolled in something and he is covered. He is for it. He's for it. He's for it. He knows. Look at this. He knows that he's in trouble. Yeah, I want to see you, bud. I want to see the extent of this. Kiddo, you are, every side of you is covered in poo. How do you find it? How do you find it? Oh, well, if Mum's watching, I am so sorry. We'll get you nice and clean. We'll get you hosed off. I'm hoping the shower in the van that we have a portable shower. Actually, it's not that it has water in it. It definitely has water in it because we always stay stocked up. But it's whether that water is frozen. And this is why you guys should just follow us along and watch the fun, because that you don't have to deal with these things. You don't have to deal with any of these problems with the dogs. You don't have to towel them off, clean them, bathe them, pick up their poo, do anything at all. You just have to watch my frustrations unravel as we deal with these things. Thank you for coming back to us, Charlie. Good boy. Right. Let's head in this direction. Goodness me. Who's asking? I can't even pronounce what that username is. Theophany? Anyway, where are we from? We're from Edinburgh in Scotland. And I'll just pan around. We're kind of in the city centre. We're a little bit off the beaten track. And some Edinburghers will know some of the landmarks that I've just shown, in particular down here. If you don't know what this is, then consider yourself lucky that you've not had to attend our infirmary. That's where we are. We're just on the outskirts of the real city centre. There we go, doxing ourselves. Yeah, we don't like doing that, do we? Because someone might come along and clean you. And we would hate for that to happen. We would hate for that to happen. Right, let's introduce the team as well. We've not done that yet. So you know me, I'm Stephen, and we've got our 8 dogs out. And in a second, a couple of crows are going to join us. There's a couple of crows fighting in the bushes there. They're going to come and join us. I can almost guarantee. Here's one of them. Oh, I wonder if they've been fighting over food, which is usually the way with wildlife. Right, who do we have? Alfie, come here, bud. This is one of our border terriers, Alfie. Hello, buddy. Our Springer, Edith. Hello, sweetheart. Our stinky Westie, Charlie. Here you go, bud. There we have another border terrier, Juno. We have another border terrier, Biscuit. Good boy, Biscuit. We have Mac, our Tibetan terrier. Back here on the left, we've got Barney, who is a Shih Tzu, and on the right, we've got Ruby, who's a Beagle. Here's our crow, coming to say hello. Hello, crow. Hello. That's for you. Food is scarce on these frozen days. Yes, I know. If you want this, you don't jump. Thank you. You know you don't jump. You know you don't jump. There we go. So yeah, so there may be drama unfolds. There may be more drama that unfolds. We never know. Part of the reason we go live is to show the owners exactly what we get up to and how we got into this state. Obviously, me going live and neglecting you, buddy, is the main cause of that. So full responsibility on me. And but don't worry, bud, you'll be going home clean one way or another. Even if I have to go through a car wash and stick you out the window, I'm pretty sure we'll manage. That's just a joke, by the way, just in case anyone gets precious about that. Just watch the crow follow us along. Absolutely no fear at all. And these guys are very much desensitized nowadays to the crows in particular, who are very clever. I'll be honest with you, they're probably one of the smartest animals that we come across on our travels. Very good at problem solving, very good at knowing how close they can get to the dogs. I mean, Mac and the crow there were within touching distance of each other, and it's not bothered its backside, and neither is Mac, to be fair. And I like that. I like that they're not overly caught up in their sort of prey drive instincts. They are people's pets, and we get all shapes and sizes of the dogs, but one of the things that you can't really account for is their natural instincts, and that prey drive is definitely something that, even in generations of trying to breed pets as opposed to working dogs, it can still be there. And sorry, that was one of the dogs, not me. You guys okay? And yeah, so when we are out as the pack, if you notice there, none of the dogs really were that interested in the crow. And if we introduce a new dog into the team and they are a bit hyped up around birds in particular, we deal with more birds than probably anything else, then those birds are the existing dogs help to train and help to desensitize the situation a little bit. It never goes away, we never get rid of it entirely, but we can certainly dial it down from wherever it is, 10 or 11 on the scale, down to, if that is how obsessed they would be, we can get that down to maybe a 3 or a 4, depending on how often the dog is out with us. And the idea is that they're not as frenzied by the sight of them, because it just becomes part of the wallpaper. Hey sweetie, I know. So if you have any questions, you feel free to drop them in the comments. We had some interesting ones yesterday. What was our favourite name of any of the dogs that we came across? And I think I settled on the name Puzzle, who's a dog that we don't actually walk, but we meet quite regularly on our walks. So if anyone in the chat can beat the name Puzzle for a dog, then I'd love to hear it. It's always funny when naming. I tell you what was actually the most interesting thing about names from my perspective. So 3 years ago, I was blessed with a son, and a human son. Let's be perfectly clear about this. And we were trying to think up names, and the number of names that were lovely names, but I was like, oh no, I used to walk a dog called that, I used to walk a dog called this, oh that dog was really unfriendly, this one was this owner never paid their bill, blah blah blah. You know, had that association with the names, so we discounted quite a lot of very good names as a result of dogs getting much more humanized names. I think these days there's definitely a kind of a swing in the favour of, well, for example, we have Edith here. Hi sweetie. Yes, I know. So what's the most unusual name out of these guys? It's a toss-up between Biscuit and our Tibetan Terrier at the back there. The black one is Mac, M-A-K. So Mac or Biscuit. I'm not actually sure if Mac is I don't know if Mac is short for anything, or if I suspect it's from a book. Ruby giving us a great example as to why she's on the long line, going down a foxhole. She didn't actually bother going down, but she would quite likely, I imagine, be quite interested in doing so. They've all had a sniff. There's probably young foxes in there, in their den. Will be well buried under, and mum or dad will be imagine at the door, ready to nip any of these guys that come in uninvited. But again, going back to that prey drive and that instinct, we have been in this location. We don't come every day, but we come enough that as the seasons progress, the dogs progress with the seasons and they understand the differences and what's going on. In springtime, which we're kind of in just now, I think it's fairly safe to say it's spring. It's an interesting one for the dogs, for sure. Oh, Frank, you have missed the Westie. Charlie has rolled. You know how we speak about how white he is all the time? Look at this, Frank. Is it coming through? Maybe the quality of the video is not sufficient to show you, but he is covered in poo, fox poo or something. Oh, he's a rascal. And when I say covered, I mean like every part of his body. His head is like all four legs and each side of him, and his tail have got on him. So he's getting a rude awakening when we come to get back to the van. He knows it as well. He'll know it. We're actually in a fairly historical location today in Edinburgh. It's the grounds that we're in. I'll tell you two things. First of all, in in Scotland, you have a right in Scotland that's called free to roam. Essentially means you can walk anywhere you want. There's no trespassing laws, with a couple of minor exceptions of like Ministry of Defence and royal palaces and things like that. But you can, even in the grounds of the royal palace, I think you can walk when they open it. So yeah, so I could walk into someone's back garden and walk these dogs, and legally I don't think it would be really that much anyone could do. Obviously we don't do that. That wouldn't be very good from a business perspective, I don't think. But yeah, and then so there are places like this, and I'm just going to show you now. Historical castles with grounds that we have phenomenal access to. Mac, we're going this, bud. Good boy. And yeah, the dogs have no understanding of where we are. They just know that how many dogs have been here today and how many people have been here and what animals have been here, where the poo is. But certainly from my point of view, it makes for real spectacular scenery. And you know what I'm very surprised at is that we haven't been on more people's social media. Like, Alfie, you come this way. Good boy. So right now I can see there's people on the castle, like there's little sort of places they can go and they take photos of us, especially people who maybe you're from a country that dogs are not a thing. Not as, you know, in the UK, 1 in every 3 households approximately has a dog. So you may come from a part of the world that isn't a thing, and it might be incredibly fascinating not just to see one dog, but all of these guys out together. Gino, thank you. So yeah, so I'm surprised we're not on people's TikToks. I would quite like to go TikTok famous that way, you know, by proxy, you know, someone making their TikTok and then me seeing it, or YouTube or whatever it might be, and then me seeing it and going, oh, that's me in the video, you know, trying to get them to sit and pose for a photo, or trying to clean Charlie from all his poo antics. Probably more likely what I'd give. Guy ragging this dog around. Make it sound like he's going to get beaten up. He's not. Of course he's not. Of course he's not. They, like, the way that the dogs act around you, around me, around the camera, will give you everything you need to know about how they're treated with me, you know. there's no fear, there's no stress, or we try and minimize it as much as we can. Come on, we're going to say, Ruby. Oh, sweetheart, I know you're caught in a tuft. There we go, good girl. Good, you guys. Charlie, there's some nice clean grass. Go and roll in that. Go clean yourself as much as you can, bud. Hey. No, what? Sorry, I'll come back to the comments because I've ignored a few. Yeah, Frank, you can clearly see he's muddy. Okay, great. That's the news I wanted to hear. I was thinking I was over exaggerating it, but never mind. That's quite interesting, Frank. Sorry. We'll come back to your comment in a second, Frank. Do you know, again, asking, she's not barking at him because she's angry with him or trying to hurt him or attack him. She's asking him to play. He's not reciprocating, he's completely ignoring her entirely. She will eventually get a little bit frustrated. Maybe the barking will become a bit more intense. We'll try and pounce on him a little bit. There's a number of things that she'll do in her arsenal to try and get play to kick off. But the big thing will be, we're about to go through this like hole in the wall here and come out into proper open space again. And when we get out in that open space, that's the best indication for them that they can have a run. However, there's already dogs over there having a run. There's already a gang. Can you see them? Which is lovely. So that, I mean, it's not just us. It's like they know they've got that freedom. And what we're not going to do is we're not going to overlap our circles. We're not going to let our team join in with their fun. We don't know their dogs. We don't know how rough they'll play. This way. Besk, come. They don't know each other. The owner or the dog walker might be desperate for one of the dogs to get some energy out of their body because they're stressed or they're worried, or maybe they've I don't know, had surgery or been attacked or something. And when did you become unconnected from me, sweetie? So yes, we're not going to take any chances by overlapping our circles. But what we will do is I see that she's moving up. She's moving. We'll maybe go into that space in a second. I can still see their dogs are having a whale of a time. Come on, we'll go this way. Good pups. Good puppies. This way. Yeah, you're not sure what's going on. This way, come on. Come on. They're not quite out the way yet. Alfie, come on. Alfie. Come on, little man. Good, you guys. Good. Well done. Well done, buddy boy. I know. I know. Good pups. You can hear them barking. They're desperate to have a thrashing. Barney, are you okay? That's for you, bud. Good boy. Find it. Find it before Alfie finds it. Good boy. Yeah, you've had Princess. Never mind sitting pretty. I wonder if the mic is picking this up. Our quality of camera is not good enough to catch what those dogs are doing, but let me tell you, they are having a whale of a time. And so many dog owners that are maybe first time dog owners, they'd be very put off by that. I can imagine that rabble, that barking, that sort of frenziedness, just not sure about why the dogs are doing it. And I mean, even we've not been put off, but I've I knew this was coming. I've explained our reasons. So Ruby, hey, this is for another reason. So Ruby's howl, we've got her hackles up, that's the hair on the back of her body standing up like a spine. And there's a reason for this. So usually 70 or 80% of how dogs react is down to smell. She'll have the best nose out of the team by far, genetically, and yeah, just from that breed perspective. So she'll absolutely have the best nose, and I would imagine they'll be able to pick up. The thing that makes them stand to attention like that and be alert is stress. Usually our bodies go through stress when we're like working out or running or cycling, or if we're in fear and we don't know what's happening, and that stress just comes out of you, and dogs can pick up on that. And that's usually why, if you have a dog that maybe doesn't like people, you're probably most likely to find that that dog goes up to the people that hates dogs the most. And in fact, we're going to go back this way. I think I'm going to walk away from the thing that Ruby was sniffing. So I could see in the bushes there was a couple of people that were trying desperately to keep out of the way of whoever, us or someone else. And either Ruby's picked up on that, or she's heard them, in the sense that she's heard them and not been able to see them and doesn't know why they're sort of scuttling around the way they are. So I would suggest it's probably the smell thing. As I say, about 80% of that is, and by far superior. So she smelled someone who's stressed out, and as I was saying, if you've got a dog that doesn't like people, the chances of that dog reacting to people who hates dogs is probably quite high, because they can tell, they can smell that fear, and it's a defense mechanism. Edith, this way. Because obviously you don't want to be, as a little vulnerable animal like this, you definitely don't want to be around people who are fearful, because fear is what drives aggression in humans and in dogs. So we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. Do we? Definitely not. You really saw how dirty his eye. Yeah, I know. Right, well, we're coming up to the half-hour mark. I don't know how I'm able to kind of blab on for this amount of time, but I've done it a couple of days in a row, and I thoroughly enjoy the company, so thank you to everybody who's stayed with us. I'm going to get the team back, maybe try and do like a separate video of Charlie getting plunged into some soapy water. I'm not going to do that, obviously I'm not. I imagine a towel will take off 90% of it, and then I might need to use my my shower, my portable shower. But like I said a few minutes ago, I'm hoping it's not frozen, because it's really cold here today. Not as cold as where I think Frank is. Frank, if you're still in the comments, tell me, what temperature is it with you guys today? It was -15 yesterday, so we're at about -2 today. But we're probably down to about -5, and that, the shower just stays in the van. Like, I'm not decanting that into the house every night, so the water that's in there is likely to have frozen, because we've had a few cold days in a row. So you're in trouble, bud. Your mum's going to tell me off. Just -2 today, Frank. Oh, practically tropical for you, is it not? Right, guys, well, if you've not done it already, I forgot to say yesterday, but you're welcome to subscribe to the channel if you want to see us again next week. We'll be live on Monday. Hit that subscribe button, it doesn't cost you anything. You can customize your notifications, and you'll get the chance to see us again. The algorithm has clearly brought you here for a reason, so we'd love to see you again. But until then, from me and the team, thank you for staying with us, and I think we'll sign off just now. So have a lovely weekend. We'll be back Monday. Until then, from the pack and I, all the best. Take care. Bye bye now.